Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 10, the Lord's return to Jagannath Puri, text 117 onwards. Advaita Nityanandir Parama Priyatama Shri Vasadi Bhakta Ganyar Hai Pranasam. Sri Sarup Damodar was very dear to Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu, and he was the life and soul of all the devotees, headed by Srivas Thakur. Sei Damodar Rashi Dandavat Haila Charane Padiya Shloka Padite Lagila. When Sarup Damodar came to Jagannath Puri, he fell flat before the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, offering him obeisances and reciting a verse. Helo Dhunita Khedaya Vishudaya Pron Milad Amodaya Shamyak Shastra Vivadaya Rasadaya Chittara Pitton Madaya Shashwat Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Madhurya Maryadaya Sri Chaitanya Daya Nidhe Tav Daya Bhuyad Amandodaya. O ocean of mercy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let there be an awakening of your auspicious mercy, which easily drives away all kinds of material lamentation by making everything pure and blissful. Indeed, your mercy awakens transcendental bliss and covers all material pleasures. By your auspicious mercy, quarrels and disagreements arising among different scriptures are vanquished. Your auspicious mercy pours forth transcendental mellows and thus causes the heart to jubilate. Your mercy, which is full of joy, always stimulates devotional service and glorifies conjugal love of God. May transcendental bliss be awakened within my heart by your causeless mercy. This important verse from Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak specifically describes the Lord's causeless mercy. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the most magnanimous personality of Godhead, distributes his causeless mercy in three ways to the conditioned soul. Every living entity is morose in the material world because he is always in want, means he wants something, always desires are there. He undergoes a great struggle for existence and tries to minimize his miserable condition by squeezing the utmost pleasure out of this world. But the living entity is never successful in this endeavor. While in a miserable condition, a person sometimes seeks the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But this is very difficult for materialistic people to obtain. However, when one becomes Krishna conscious by the grace of the Lord, the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord expands. And in this way, a materialist may gain freedom from his miseries. Actually, his mind is cleansed by his transcendental connection with the lotus feet of the Lord. At such a time, one is enlightened by the loving service of the Lord. So, Prabhupada explains that we are in a miserable condition here in the material world, everybody, because of our desires. Desires, when they are fulfilled, then they become greed. When they are not fulfilled, they become anger. So in the end, we all are in a miserable condition, whoever is materially conditioned. And then, when one becomes Krishna conscious by the grace of the Lord, of course, it happens by the mercy of a devotee, he starts on this path, and then slowly he makes progress. And Prabhupada says, the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord expands. what is it? Fragrance of the lotus feet. Because more we hold on to lotus feet, or to the more we surrender to the instructions of the Lord, then slowly, slowly, slowly we gain freedom from his miseries. Just like Archana Mataji was asking question on how we get away from a karmic cycle. So more we engage in devotional service, Krishna said in Gita also, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tahas tathave bhajamiham. As one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. So in the beginning, surrender is not there. Then slowly, slowly, we start surrendering because faith is developing by the association of devotees, by taking up the sadhana process seriously, and other services. So slowly, slowly, we like it, we enjoy it, and we surrender more. Means we try to follow more and more. And this is what Prabhupada is saying. Then the materialist may gain freedom from his misery. So slowly, slowly, we are getting away from material desires. They are going down, and the spiritual desires of serving the Lord, they start increasing. And then what happens? Actually, his mind is cleansed by his transcendental connection with the lotus feet of the Lord. At such a time, one is enlightened by the loving service of the Lord. So then, that's how we start getting away from our karmic cycle also. It won't happen all of a sudden. Although Brahm Samhita also says, Karmani nirdahati kintu ja bhakti bhajam. All the karmic cycle, karmic reactions, they burn to ashes. Karmani nirdahati. By how? Bhakti bhaja, by bhakti. But we have so many karmas. Prarabdha means what we are going through right now. Then aprarabdha, which are way down in the background. Then kut and bij. Bij means their seed form is there. They haven't fructified. But kuta, they are about to fructify, which we are about to get. So, bhakti, what it does, it not only uproots those seeds also, seeds of karma, means the desires. It can also remove the karmic reactions. But some karmic reactions we have to go through, like this body is a result of our previous karmas. The body will remain with us. Yes, slowly, slowly, slowly it will start getting spiritualized. But the body remains, and the organs remain, and the diseases will be there. And but the beauty of bhakti is diseases. Krishna can remove any disease. What's a big deal for that? But at the same time, he can give us more also. Somebody will say, "Wow, what is this? You're saying karmic reactions are reducing, but here you're saying Krishna can give more." Krishna can give more in the sense what we were supposed to suffer in the next lifetimes, he can concentrate everything and give us more. Or if it helps us in surrendering faster, Krishna can give us more. It's all up to him then, what he wants to do with us. But one thing is for sure, that he wants us to surrender fast and get out of here. Rectify, get purified, get out of here. So he wants us to go away from this miserable condition. Why stay here? And then Prabhupada said, there are many different kinds of scriptures, and by reading them, one often becomes puzzled. But when one receives the mercy of the Lord, his confusion is mitigated. Not only are scriptural disparities resolved, but a kind of transcendental bliss is awakened. And in this way, one is fully satisfied. The transcendental loving service of the Lord constantly engages the conditioned soul in serving the Lord's lotus feet. Through, through such fortunate engagement, one's transcendental love for Krishna is increased. One's position is thus completely purified, and one is filled with transcendental bliss, accompanied by the spirit soul's jubilation. See, this is pure devotional service we are getting to. See, right now, we are not performing pure. Pure means nectar devotion. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. But our devotion service is mostly mixed with karma. Karma mishvat bhakti. Because we want some karma phal. So which is fine. I mean, it's not the best, but considering our situation, our level, this is the best we can do, and we can do better, obviously. But what bhakti does, Prabhupada says, the transcendental loving service of the Lord constantly engages the conditioned soul in serving the Lord's lotus feet. Through such fortunate engagement, one's transcendental love for Krishna is increased. Means our love for Krishna should be increasing constantly by engaging in the service of Krishna constantly. And what is this love for Krishna? Well, yes, love for Krishna, love for Radharani, love for their service, but love for their devotees also, love for the creation. And the mood of service is increased. Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam the characteristics of his pure devotees, what he likes. So that mood of loving devotional service, not for only for Krishna, but for his devotees also, for his other forms also, that has to be there. And not that somebody has to force us to do. That should naturally, spontaneously, it should be there. Now the question is, does it come on automatically, or we have to develop it, or we have to work on it? Well, automatically means just by chanting and serving Krishna, we'll get to that position. Yes, we can. But one has to be aware of what he is doing, and if something has to be worked on, why not? If I think I said something to somebody and it was not right, then I should work on it. If I have to ask for forgiveness from that person, go ahead, we should. And then we should be conscious of what we say, how we say next time. So one has to work on it also. So it's a constant struggle. It's a sweet struggle. It's a constant struggle. We are trying to grow from materially conditioned soul to spiritually advanced, elevated person, which is our constitutional position, which we are actually. Right now, what we are, it's all artificial. We're just playing the part. That's all. And then what Prabhupada says, one's position is thus completely purified, and one is filled with transcendental bliss, accompanied by the spirit soul's jubilation. So that is what is going to happen. When we have reached very high. Thus, the transcendental, causeless mercy of Lord Krishna is manifested in the heart of the devotee. At such a time, material needs no longer exist. At such a time, when the transcendental causeless mercy of the Lord has manifested in the heart of a devotee. So again, it doesn't mean that if I don't have material needs or I have reduced my material needs, that doesn't mean I have developed love for Krishna. Otherwise, okay, yes, when we develop love for Krishna, all the material needs go away completely or they are reduced very much. Material needs are what? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. They all go down. Shad Goswamis, Prabhupada has given example of 6 Goswamis. Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, they were the big ministers in Nawab Hussain Shah's kingdom. Raghunath Das Goswami was son of a big, very, very rich landlord. But when they surrendered to Mahaprabhu, when they engaged in devotional service, and they got the mercy of Mahaprabhu, they were hardly eating anything, hardly sleeping. At the most, their sleep was what, 1 or 2 hours a day. And there was no question of mating and defending also. They were not, they were not worried about their protection. Krishna was taking care. So that is the level. Of course, we are not artificially, we're not supposed to jump into it. Slowly, slowly it will happen. It will develop. All these things will manifest slowly, slowly. The lamentation that invariably accompanies material desires also vanishes. By the grace of the Lord, one is elevated to the transcendental position, and the transcendental mellows of the spiritual world are manifested in him. Transcendental mellows of the spiritual world are also manifested. One's devotional service then becomes firm, means at the level of nishtha, and one engages in the Lord's transcendental loving service with great determination. Because now he's tasting those mellows. All these combine to fully awaken the devotee's heart with love of Krishna. So nishtha, ruchi, yasakti, bhav, prem, then all these steps follow. In the beginning, a conditioned soul is bereft of Krishna consciousness and is always morose in his material activities. Always morose, always lamenting. Later, by association with the pure devotee, one becomes inquisitive to know the absolute truth. In this way, one begins to engage in the transcendental service of the Lord. Next, by the Lord's grace, all misconceptions are vanquished and the heart is cleansed of all material dirt. What is all material dirt? Means all the material desires, they go away. There is no need. There is no material. Only spiritual desires are there. Yes, to serve the Lord, to serve the devotees, those desires are always there. But for oneself, it doesn't need anything. It's only then that the pleasure of transcendental bliss is awakened. By the Lord's mercy, one is completely convinced of the value of devotional service. When one can see the pastimes of the Lord everywhere, he is firmly situated in transcendental bliss. When one can see the pastimes of the Lord everywhere, it's not like that he's going to see Krishna's Ras Leela everywhere, but he'll see Krishna's hand in everything that is happening everywhere. Because without Krishna's sanctioning and Krishna's intervention, nothing can happen. It's just not possible. But a devotee sees that. Such a devotee is relieved of all kinds of material desires, and he preaches the glories of the Lord all over the world. These Krishna conscious activities separate him from material activities and the desire for liberation, because at every step the devotee feels himself connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At every step. Means, this is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, no? One who sees me everywhere, sees me in everything, is never lost to me, and I'm never lost to him. But how will that happen? It's not just going to happen overnight. We have to work on it. That's why we are given this Vedhi Sadhana Bhakti. So our sadhana bhakti, and on by our sadhana bhakti, I don't think anything is going to happen. It's only seeing our sincere effort in performing our sadhana bhakti. Prabhupada, our connection with Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is through Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is pleased. He can give us mercy. By his mercy, we can make progress. And then we get the mercy of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radharani, everybody, and other acharyas also. But seeing our sincere struggle or efforts in performing our sadhana bhakti properly. And at the same time, sadhana bhakti also means serving, trying to do some services. Although such a devotee may sometimes be involved in household life, he is untouched by material existence due to his constant engagement in devotional service. So, household life is generally come in contact with material existence because all the material desires are there in the Grihastha ashram. Other ashrams are theoretically they should be free from it. But it's Kali Yuga, so anything can happen in any ashram. But generally, it's a Grihastha ashram where so many other desires are there. But even it's although such a devotee may sometimes be involved in household life, he is untouched by material existence due to his constant engagement in devotional service. So thus everyone is advised to take shelter of devotional service to become happy and liberated. So again and again, constant engagement. 16 rounds is, it's also a minimum 16 rounds. So yes, first 16 rounds has to be very nicely done, but if we can do more, why not? Why we have to waste time here and there? Study of the scripture, Prabhupada's books are there, other services are there. Means if we're constantly engaged, our mind is always in Krishna, whichever service we are doing, whenever. That is always required. Then slowly, 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 we'll make progress. Mercy will flow. It will definitely flow. But the mood of service should be there, not the mood of enjoyer or controller. That mood of service, whether in the association of devotees or whether we are alone, the mood should be of service. Okay, I guess I can stop here. Today we covered only one shloka. Or two, 3 shlokas. Okay. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Got clarification
Thank
to my question.
you, Mat.
Thank you.
प्रभु जी हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
जैसे 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 प्रभु जी आपने बताया था कल उनको शालिग्राम महाराज जी के लिए वैसे ही मैंने आज मॉर्निंग में उनके लिए किया, वो इत्र से उनको यू नो उनको लगाना, और फूल वगैरह और मंजरी, और उनका सिंहासन भी आ गया है, तो उसमें उनको
ओके।
विराजमान भी कर दिया है। जी।
जय जय। अच्छा, एक चीज और थी, चूंकि आपने बात की इत्र की, तो
जी।
सर्दी के दिनों में तो मेक श्योर
हम्म।
कि सर्दी वाला इत्र लगाएं, गर्मी वाला ना लगाएं।
अच्छा, ठीक है प्रभु।
जैसे रोज और चंपा ये पूरा साल चल सकते हैं।
हम्म। अच्छा।
तो बाकी जैसे अगर चंदन वाला इत्र है तो सर्दियों में मत लगाना, गर्मियों में।
ठीक ठीक है प्रभु।
ठीक है। और अच्छा, हाँ, मैं एक और चीज आपकी वो सोच रहा था कि जैसे लोग कहते हैं ना सब एक हैं, कृष्ण राम, तो उसके लिए एक एग्जाम्पल में दिमाग में आया था। मान लो आप, आई डोंट नो आप कितने भाई हो, मान लो आप चार भाई हो, तो चारों भाई ठीक है, दुबे फैमिली में है तो सब ठीक है, दुबे हैं। बट चारों एक तो नहीं हो सकते ना, कोई बैंक में काम कर रहा हो, कोई आईटी इंडस्ट्री, कोई कहाँ, कोई बिजनेस में हो सकता हो, कोई छोटा बड़ा हो सकता है साइज में। तो चारों अलग अलग भी हैं और एक भी है। तो ये थोड़ी कह सकते हैं चारों एक ही हैं।
अच्छा।
जैसे मंडेन एग्जाम्पल दिमाग में आया था। तो इस तरह भी समझ सकते हैं उसको।
हम्म।
ठीक है, चलो, यू ऑल हैव अ सेफ एंड वंडरफुल डे। हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री
Hare
राम।
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Jai
Prabhu.
Shri
Thank
Ram.
you.